movie starts with Charlie Matty coming back to the city after a happy trip with his young son, Anatoly. When they arrive, Anatoly excitedly asks to stop and watch a street performer. Charlie smiles and tells him to go ahead while he looks for a place to park. But suddenly, everything changes. As soon as Charlie steps out of his car, a group of masked men appears and starts shooting at him. Even though he's hit many times, Charlie somehow survives. As Charlie started to lose consciousness, memories from his past rushed back. He remembered his younger days in prison, where a mafia boss called Old Timer gave him dark advice. In his deep, rough voice, Old Timer warned that once someone steps into the world of crime, there's no way out. In the present, Charlie is taken to the hospital in serious condition. Doctors work desperately to save his life, carefully removing all 22 bullets from his body. The scene then moves to Tony Zacchia, a powerful and cold man who has just heard about Charlie's condition. His sharp look and calm, calculating manner make people suspect he might be behind the attack. Meanwhile, the shooting shocks everyone and becomes the top story on national TV. News anchors reveal that Charlie was once a feared mafia member, but had left that life behind. This revelation only adds more tension and mystery to the brutal attack. In the next scene, Police Captain Marie Goldman appears. She takes a strong interest in the case and decides to visit the crime scene herself. Meanwhile, as Charlie lies on the operating table, painful memories from his past return. He remembers his younger days, when he found out that Old Timer, the mentor he deeply admired, was killed by a brutal rival. The loss filled Charlie with anger and a desire for revenge. Together with his two close friends, Tony Zacchia and Karim, he made a plan to get back at Hernandez, a feared gangster they believed was responsible for Old Timer's death. The young men, filled with anger and a thirst for revenge, promised to stay loyal to each other like brothers. With determination, they went after Hernandez and succeeded in taking revenge. That moment marked the start of their dangerous path into the mafia world. Back in the present, Police Captain Marie Goldman is under pressure from her bosses. They tell her to drop the case, saying that Charlie is just a former mafia member and that gang-related crimes aren't the police's problem. But Marie refuses to listen to them. With firm determination, Marie keeps investigating, hoping to uncover who tried to kill Charlie. She visits him in the hospital, where he is slowly recovering after a difficult surgery. When she tries to question him, Charlie stays completely silent, adding to the tense and mysterious mood. Frustrated, Marie leaves the room just as Charlie's lawyer, Martin, arrives with his two close friends, Karim and Pat. That night, after putting her son to bed, Marie was startled by an unexpected phone call. Old memories and pain came rushing back, and she spent the night quietly drinking, thinking about her late husband. Meanwhile, Karim was overcome with anger and determined to get revenge. Loyal to Charlie, he was ready to do whatever it took to find and confront the person behind the attack. Martin told Karim to stay calm and wait for Charlie to wake up from his coma before doing anything. Before leaving, Karim asked Martin to watch over Charlie and never leave his side. Later at the hospital, a man dressed as a medical worker quietly slipped in and made his way to Charlie's room. Without warning, he pulled out a gun, pushed the door open, and fired several cold, ruthless shots at Charlie. Gunshots rang out through the hospital, and doctors quickly ran to the scene. They found a dead body, but it wasn't Charlie. Thanks to her quick thinking, Captain Marie had already moved him to another room before the attack. She immediately increased security and assigned a team to guard the hospital, making sure Charlie stayed safe. While watching the situation, Marie noticed Tony Zacchia arriving to visit Charlie, which made her even more suspicious. During his visit, Tony sighed in relief when he saw that Charlie was still alive. Before leaving, he placed a card with a hidden warning on it, reminding that security cameras were everywhere and that the police were watching from an ambulance outside. Shortly after, Karim and Martin arrived to see Charlie and quickly took him out of the hospital. Marie noticed right away and decided to follow them closely, determined to watch their every move. Karim quickly noticed they were being followed and sped up to lose the tail. He called a friend to get backup. After Marie lost sight of him, Kareem drove to an old warehouse where one of Tony's men was tied to a chair. The man was terrified and struggling to stay calm. Charlie, calm but cold, told him that nothing would happen if he cooperated. Terrified, the man confessed that he wasn't part of the shooting but revealed a shocking truth. Tony Zacchia, Charlie's former best friend, was the one who ordered the attack and had him followed. Tony wanted Charlie dead because he had left the criminal world, giving Tony full control of the drug trade. Now, Tony feared Charlie might come back and take his power away. The revelation left Charlie stunned and unable to believe that his closest friend had betrayed him. Kareem urged Charlie to kill Tony right away, but Charlie hesitated. Tony wasn't just his best friend, he was someone who had once sworn brotherhood with him, making the choice even harder. Eventually, Kareem backed off, and Martin took Charlie home where his family welcomed him with warmth and relief. The reunion brought Charlie a bit of peace after all the chaos. Kareem went back to his own family, but later that night, Tony's men suddenly kidnapped him. It turned out that Charlie's kidnapping had been secretly arranged by the man who was tied up in the warehouse, the one who had given away all the information. His plan to win back Tony's trust completely failed when Tony's men shot him dead on the spot. As a brutal warning, they also cut off one of Kareem's fingers and sent it to his family. Charlie, busy with his work and daily life, didn't know what had happened until he heard about Kareem's death. The news hit him hard, filling him with grief and shock. At the funeral, he stood quietly, watching Kareem's family cry, his heart weighed down with sorrow. Then, anger took over, and his need for revenge grew stronger than ever. Before putting his plan into action, Charlie told Pat to take his family somewhere safe to keep them out of danger. That night, Tony's men threw a loud, carefree party, showing no sign of guilt for torturing and killing a man just the night before. But their celebration wouldn't last long. Charlie had now turned into an unstoppable force. Even without a weapon, Charlie gave the men one last chance to say goodbye to their loved ones, knowing their time was almost up. He then shot one of them, recognizing him as the man who had shot him before by the unique watch on his wrist. Charlie escaped effortlessly, leaving the rest frozen in fear. The next day, one of Tony's men went to visit the graves of the dead but was killed by Charlie before he could even light incense. Realizing Charlie had started his revenge, Tony quickly ordered his men to search Charlie's house and family, but they found nothing suspicious. Meanwhile, Charlie was calmly resting with his loyal cat in a quiet part of the city, unaware that Tony's men were looking for him. Sometime later, Martin, Charlie's lawyer, arrived at the house and was stunned by the mess inside. He quickly warned Charlie, not realizing that one of Tony's men had followed him and found Charlie's hiding place. Soon after, the area was surrounded. Calm but determined, Charlie stood his ground and fought off the attackers while Martin escaped by boat. One of Tony's men caught up with Martin and trapped him with no way out. Charlie quickly jumped on his motorcycle to help, but Tony's men chased him closely, and he ended up crashing into a police car. He was arrested right away, brought in for questioning, and once again came face to face with Captain Marie Goldman. That night, Tony celebrated his daughter's wedding, pretending nothing was wrong despite his violent crimes. Outside, Charlie was hiding nearby. He captured one of Tony's men and demanded all the information about Tony's drug deals, determined to uncover every secret. When Tony found out what had happened, he exploded with anger. He stormed out of the party and rushed to his drug lab, furious and out of control. Losing his temper, Tony ordered his men to find Charlie dead or alive. The next morning, Pat went to pick up Charlie's children, Anatoly and Eva, from school. Everything seemed normal until a truck suddenly pulled up nearby. The men inside grabbed the children and sped away. By the time Marie arrived, it was already too late. Shortly after, the police found Eva and brought her safely to the station. Eva, bruised and weak, collapsed and told them that Anatoly would be killed unless Charlie turned himself in. After Captain Marie left the station, Charlie suddenly appeared and got into her car. He asked her to create a fake news report saying he had been arrested, hoping it would make Tony stop searching and free his son. Charlie promised that he would turn himself in once his son was safe, and Marie agreed to help him. When Tony heard the news that Charlie had been arrested, he lost his temper and sent one of his men to kill Anatoly. But Tony didn't know that Charlie was secretly following the henchman on his motorcycle, heading straight to the place where his son was being held. Inside the house, one of Tony's men was guarding Anatoly and had been told to kill him right away. But instead, he quickly set the boy free. Outside, Charlie was caught in a barbed wire fence, fighting to break loose. When the thug tried to drag Anatoly and shove him into the car trunk, Charlie burst out, attacked him fiercely, and saved his son. When Charlie got home, he told his wife they didn't need to hide anymore because he had taken down all of Tony's men. The next day, Charlie showed up unexpectedly while Tony was relaxing. Charlie was ready to end the feud out of respect for their old friendship, but Tony, blinded by his hunger for power, was determined to destroy Charlie once and for all. Tony pinned Charlie to the ground and pointed a gun at his face. But when he let his guard down, Charlie quickly fought back and took control. The police arrived just in time and arrested Tony for running a drug ring. It turned out that Charlie had secretly helped Captain Marie collect enough evidence to put Tony behind bars. When the police questioned Charlie, they found no proof connecting him to the drug operation, so they had no choice but to let him go. After leaving the station, Charlie was picked up by Martin, who asked him to go to the parking lot where he had been shot. There, Charlie suddenly realized that Martin was the one who had fired at the wall that day. Feeling betrayed, he pointed his gun at Martin, but Martin quickly explained that Tony had ordered him to kill someone without saying who it was. When Martin found out the target was Charlie, he couldn't go through with it. In truth, the bullet Charlie fired into the wall had been his way of thanking Martin for sparing him. In the final scene, Charlie and his family enjoy a peaceful day at the beach, walking together happily under the setting sun.